everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Mark.
And I'm Jessica, your co-host. We're really excited you're here today because we've got a powerful topic lined up: real listening for real fluency.
That's right. You know, a lot of learners think fluency is just about speaking fast. But the truth is, real fluency starts with real listening.
Exactly. If you can't understand natural English in movies, podcasts, or real conversations, speaking becomes so much harder. That's why today, we're going to dig deep into how you can train your ears and your brain to listen the way native speakers actually use English.
And don't worry, we're not talking about boring textbook listening exercises. We're talking about real listening, the kind of listening that actually helps you sound natural, confident, and fluent.
So grab your headphones, get comfortable, and let's dive into this journey together.
All right, Jessica, let's get straight into it. Why do you think so many learners struggle with listening in English?
Well, one big reason is that what learners study in classrooms or textbooks isn't the same as what people actually say in real life. In a classroom, you hear slow, clear, perfect sentences. But in real conversations, people speak fast, they use slang, they cut words, and sometimes they even mumble.
Exactly. I mean, when a native speaker says, "Did you eat yet?" it often comes out like "Jeet yet?" And if learners aren't used to hearing that kind of real English, they just freeze.
Yes. And here's the thing. Listening isn't just about hearing words. It's about catching rhythm, intonation, and context. That's why real listening matters. It trains your brain to understand natural English, not just textbook English.
And when you can really understand what people are saying, your confidence just explodes. Suddenly, you don't feel nervous in conversations because you're not guessing you're following along.
Right. I always tell my students, speaking is output, but listening is input. If your input is weak, your output will also be weak. But if your listening is strong, your speaking becomes smoother and more natural.
That's a golden point. Real fluency is like a two-way street. If you can't understand what's coming in, it's really hard to respond naturally.
Exactly. And that's why we want our listeners today to realize improving listening is not optional. It's the foundation of real fluency.
Well said. So now that we've talked about why it matters, let's break down the science behind listening, how your brain actually processes all these sounds.
So, Mark, I think many learners don't realize that listening isn't just about the ears, it's really about the brain.
That's so true. When we listen, our brain has to do three big jobs. First, it has to catch the sounds. Second, it has to connect those sounds into words and phrases. And finally, it has to understand the meaning in context.
And here's the interesting part. Native speakers don't process every single word like a computer. Instead, the brain works in chunks. For example, instead of hearing "I don't know," it hears "I dunno" as one chunk.
Exactly. And that's why learners often get lost. They're trying to hear each word separately, but the brain of a fluent listener is grouping words and predicting meaning instantly.
It's like when you read. You don't read one letter at a time, you read whole words or even whole phrases. Listening works the same way.
Yes. And the science shows that the more real listening practice you give your brain, the faster it becomes at recognizing these patterns. It's like building muscle memory, but for your ears.
That's why fluency isn't just about practicing speaking. It's about training your brain to process natural English at real speed.
And here's the bonus. When your listening gets sharper, your speaking improves automatically. Because your brain starts to copy the rhythm, the stress, and even the melody of English.
Exactly. That's why we say, good listening is the secret door to fluent speaking. If you train your ears, your mouth will follow.
Beautifully said. So, Now the question is, how can learners actually train their listening every day? That's what we're going to talk about next. All right, Jessica. Now we're getting to the fun part. How can learners actually practice listening every single day?
Yes, because here's the truth. You don't need hours and hours. You just need consistent, smart practice.
Exactly. One of my favorite methods is shadowing. You listen to a short piece of audio, maybe a podcast clip, a movie line, or even a YouTube video, and then you repeat it out loud, trying to match the speaker's rhythm and pronunciation.
Yes, and shadowing is powerful because you're not just listening, you're copying the music of English. It forces your brain to focus on sounds, speed, and intonation.
Right. And learners don't have to start with long clips. Even 10 or 15 seconds is enough. Listen, pause, repeat. Do that every day, and your listening and speaking will both improve.
Another simple daily practice is active listening. This means choosing something to listen to like a podcast, song, or TV show, and focusing 100% on it. No multitasking, no scrolling on your phone, just ears and brain fully engaged.
Yes, because a lot of learners think they're practicing listening when they're actually half distracted. Real improvement comes from active, focused listening.
Exactly. And for people who are busy, here's a great tip. Turn your dead time into listening time. For example, when you're walking, cooking, or commuting, put on English audio. Even 10 minutes a day makes a huge difference.
That's gold. I know a student who improved massively just by listening to English news while brushing his teeth every morning. It sounds funny, but those little daily habits add up.
Oh, and let's not forget songs and music. Music is great for listening because it sticks in your memory. Learners can listen to a song, look up the lyrics, and then sing along. That builds listening skills and pronunciation.
Definitely. And for movie lovers, watching TV shows or films in English is amazing. But here's the trick. Don't just use subtitles in your own language. Start with English subtitles, then try without subtitles at all.
Yes, subtitles should be like training wheels on a bike. Use them at first, but gradually remove them so your ears can do the real work.
And the last practice I'd suggest is repeated listening. Don't just listen once. Take the same short audio clip, listen 3, 4, even 5 times. Each time, you'll catch something new, maybe a word, maybe a phrase, maybe just the rhythm.
That's such a good point. Repeated listening trains your brain to notice details you would normally miss. It's like zooming in with a camera.
Exactly. So to sum up, shadowing, active listening, using daily moments, music, movies, and repeated listening. If learners add even a couple of these into their routine, they'll notice big progress in just a few weeks.
Yes, and the key word is daily. It's not about one big study session. It's about making listening part of your everyday life.
Beautiful. Now, even with all these great practices, many learners still fall into some traps. So let's talk about the common mistakes people make with listening.
So, Mark, even when learners practice listening every day, many of them still get stuck. And usually it's because of some common mistakes.
Oh, yes, I've seen these a lot. The first big one is trying to understand every single word. Learners think, if I don't catch one word, I failed. But that's not how real listening works,
Exactly. Native speakers don't even catch every word sometimes. What matters is understanding the message, not every syllable.
right? So instead of focusing on each word, learners should focus on the big picture, the main idea, the emotion, the context.
Another mistake I see is overusing subtitles. Subtitles are helpful at first, but if you depend on them too much, your ears get lazy.
Yes, It's like training wheels on a bike. At some point, you've got to take them off and let your brain balance on its own.
And the last big mistake is not being consistent. Learners listen for 1 hour on Sunday, then nothing for the rest of the week. But fluency grows from daily habits, not random marathons.
Exactly. 10 minutes every day is better than 1 hour once a week. The brain needs regular contact with English sounds to really adapt.
So, if you're listening right now, remember, don't chase every word, don't depend too much on subtitles, and don't stop and start. Keep it consistent and simple.
Perfectly said. And to make this point crystal clear, I think we should do a quick little role play, bad listening versus good listening.
Oh, I love that idea. Let's show our listeners the difference.
All right, Jessica, let's do this. I'll play the bad listener first, and you just speak naturally.
Okay, here we go. So imagine I say, "Hey, did you catch that new episode of the show last night? It was hilarious."
Wait, wait. Catch new episode, show last night. I don't understand. Can you repeat slowly, word by word?
See? That's what many learners do. They panic, focus on single words, and miss the meaning.
Exactly. Now let's try the good listener approach. Same sentence, but this time I'll focus on the main idea, not every word.
All right. Hey, did you catch that new episode of the show last night? It was hilarious.
I heard new episode last night. Hilarious. Okay, so she's talking about a funny TV show she watched yesterday. Got it.
Perfect. Even if you didn't understand every word, you still caught the meaning. That's real listening.
Exactly. And here's another quick example. If someone says, "What ya up to?" a bad listener might panic. Whatcha? What's that word? But a good listener thinks, okay, sounds like, what are you up to? They're asking about my plans.
Yes, the key is context and pattern recognition. Don't freeze on the little words, listen for the big message.
Beautifully said. And that's why practicing real listening is so powerful. You start to recognize these natural patterns without stressing over every syllable.
Exactly. And to make this even more motivating, let's share some real-life stories of learners who improved their fluency through listening. Mark, I think stories are the best way to show how real listening transforms fluency. Do you have a student example that stands out?
Oh, absolutely. I had a student from Brazil named Anna. When she first started, she could read and write really well. But when she listened to native speakers, she froze. She told me, "Mark, I only understand my teacher's English, not real people."
That's so common. What did she do?
She committed to listening every day just 15 minutes. At first, she listened to podcasts with transcripts. Then she slowly moved to YouTube videos without subtitles. After about 3 months, she told me she had her first real conversation with a native speaker without panicking. She said, "For the first time, I understood the jokes." That was a breakthrough moment.
I love that. I had a similar story with a student in Japan. His name was Kenji, and he was obsessed with American TV shows. At first, he only watched with Japanese subtitles, but I challenged him to switch to English subtitles, then eventually no subtitles.
And how did that go?
Well, at first he complained a lot. He said, "Jessica, I don't understand anything." But after a few weeks, something amazing happened. He started recognizing phrases like, "You know what I mean," or "Come on." He didn't need to translate anymore. 6 months later, his co-workers noticed that his speaking sounded more natural, almost like the characters he had been listening to.
That's incredible. And it shows something really important. Fluency doesn't come from grammar books alone. It comes from real listening, from repeated exposure, from connecting with the living language.
Yes, and listeners, we want you to know Anna and Kenji are not special cases. They're normal learners just like you. The only difference is they made listening a daily habit.
Exactly. And if they can do it, so can you.
So now that we've shared some real success stories, let's get practical with a few easy tips that our listeners can start using today.
All right, Jessica, let's give our listeners some quick, practical tips they can start using right after this episode.
Definitely. Tip number 1, listen in short bursts. Don't overwhelm yourself with an hour-long lecture. Even 5 minutes of focused listening is powerful.
Love that. Tip number 2, repeat what you hear. It could be one sentence from a podcast, a movie line, or even a song lyric. Say it out loud. Copy the rhythm. That's how you train your ears and your mouth at the same time.
Tip number 3, mix your listening sources. Don't just listen to news anchors or teachers. Try podcasts, movies, interviews, even TikToks or YouTube shorts. Real English comes in many styles.
And my favorite, tip number 4, be consistent. Set a small daily goal, like 10 minutes a day, and stick to it. Fluency grows from daily seeds, not random big study sessions.
Yes, and if you apply even one of these tips every day, you'll notice progress much faster than you think.
Exactly. And to make sure our listeners put this into action, I think it's time for a little challenge.
Okay, listeners, it's challenge time. We want you to take what you've learned today and actually put it into practice.
Yes! So here's the 7-day real listening challenge. Every day for the next week, commit to just 10 minutes of focused listening in English.
And here's how you can do it. Day 1, listen to a short podcast clip. Day 2, watch part of a movie or TV show with English subtitles. Day 3, try listening again without subtitles. Day 4, shadow a short sentence or phrase you hear. Day 5, listen to an English song and follow along with the lyrics. Day 6, replay something you listened to earlier in the week and notice new details. Day 7, pick any audio you love and enjoy it without pressure. Just notice what you understand.
Beautiful. And remember, it's only 10 minutes a day. That's less time than scrolling on social media. But if you do it consistently, you'll be amazed at the progress you make in just 1 week.
Yes, and if you want extra motivation, keep a little journal. Write down one new phrase or word you catch each day. At the end of the week, you'll see how much your ears have grown.
So listeners, are you ready for the challenge? 7 days, 10 minutes a day, real listening for real fluency.
You've got this.
Wow, Jessica, what an episode! We've covered so much today why real listening matters, the science behind it, daily practices, common mistakes, and even real-life success stories.
Yes, and we've given our listeners practical tips and a 7-day challenge to start improving their fluency right away.
Remember, listeners, fluency isn't about perfection. It's about consistent effort, daily practice, and letting your brain get used to real English.
Exactly. Don't worry if you don't understand everything at first. Every time you listen, your brain is learning, adapting, and improving.
And here's the most important thing. Start today. Even 10 minutes of focused listening can move you closer to real fluency. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Your future fluent self is waiting.
We believe in you. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and enjoy the journey. Real listening leads to real fluency, one day at a time.
Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. Be sure to join us next time for more tips to improve your English.
Bye for now and happy listening.